Hey and welcome to the Daily Manchester United News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Five Italian clubs want to sign Man United centre back Harry Maguire. Manchester United defender Harry Maguire is attracting interest from five Serie A clubs this summer, according to Italian publication Corriere dello Sport. The England international had a difficult 22-23 season under manager Erik ten Hag. He made just 16 starts in all competitions, only 8 of those came in the Premier League. It's now reported that Maguire is attracting plenty of attention from the Italian top flight. Corriere dello Sport say that the 30-year-old remains a respectable defender. He is currently on the radar of Napoli, Roma, Juventus, as well as AC Milan and Inter Milan. United could be open to selling their ex-captain for £30 million, but in the case of Italian clubs, they may have to accept a classic operation of a loan deal with a buy clause. Maguire is no longer a guaranteed starter with the Red Devils. Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez are currently the undisputed pairing at the heart of the defense. Victor Lindelof is considered as the third choice centre back in the squad. Meanwhile, left back Luke Shaw made 11 starts in the role following the World Cup break last season. Hence, Maguire is virtually the fifth choice central defender in the squad, but United will want a replacement for him if he were to head for the exit door. With the club working on a limited pre-sales budget, it does not make sense to lose Maguire on loan unless there is an obligation to buy as part of the deal. Monaco's Axel Disasi is the top player on United's radar to replace Maguire, but Newcastle have recently made contact with the League One outfit for the Frenchman. Galatasaray reportedly considering two payment methods for sealing Fred's signature. The club are finalizing the departure of Fred, with Galatasaray keen to get the deal done. It was reported last night that Galatasaray deputy chairman Erden Timur had traveled to England to try and close the deal for the Brazilian. The major stumbling block has been the fee. The People's Person had reported that Fulham were interested in the 30-year-old, with United asking for £20 million. The Turkish champions have been trying to lowball United for a while now. Reportedly, they initially came up with a €6 million offer before raising it to €8 million. United had deemed both of them to be insufficient and rebuffed those approaches, with Galatasaray management apparently terming United's valuation as annoying. Mixed reports are emerging from Turkey with regards to how the Yellow Red will get the deal done, with two forms of payment coming to light. As per Photomac, Galatasaray will place an initial loan offer with an option to buy, with Timur expected to complete the transfer in a few days. According to NTV Sport, Gala are expected to lower the initial fee by placing achievable add-ons that will take the price to a satisfactory compromise. The report read, however, Manchester United's expectation is above €15 million. The Yellow Reds are trying to reduce this figure with an offer that includes bonuses. With Fulham and Saudi Arabian clubs also in the race, United should try and get the best possible deal out of a buying club, considering the season Fred enjoyed under Ten Hag last term. The Brazil international scored 6 goals and provided as many assists in 56 games across all competitions, his best ever goal return in a single season. The only thing holding back United from asking more for a player they paid £52 million for back in 2018 is the fact that Fred's current deal only has 1 year left to run. He is currently in England, having not travelled with the rest of the squad to America for a pre-season due to personal reasons. Erik Bailly closing in on Al Nassr transfer from Manchester United. Manchester United defender Erik Bailly is closing in on a move to Al Nassr in the ongoing transfer window, according to journalist Mark on Twitter via Couch Offside. As things stand, the Old Trafford side are looking to part ways with the 29-year-old this summer. The centre-back has been listed as a must-sell player by the club. the Saudi Pro League outfit are interested in acquiring the services of the Ivory Coast International. To that end, talks between the Red Devils and the Riyadh-based club are progressing well. It looks like the right time to part ways with Baye. The Old Trafford side arguably have much better options than the Ivorian in their backline at the moment. Lisandro Martinez and Rafael Varane formed a solid partnership under Ten Hag last season. The Dutch manager also has the likes of Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof at his disposal for now. Therefore, it seems wise to cash in on Baye, but whether United will be able to reach a consensus with Al Nassr remains to be seen. Manchester United youngster excited to be back in first team following injury issues. Manchester United left back Brandon Williams has been speaking about how it feels to be back in a United preseason squad for the first time in 3 years. The left back has been in and around the first team for years, and he has spent time out on loan at Norwich City, but to no avail. Now the Englishman is back and hoping to make the most of his opportunities. The defender spoke in depth last night about how it feels to be back in the first team fold following an injury hit 22-23 season. The Englishman has been unfortunate with injuries, team selection, and not being part of previous manager plans, but it seems the 22-year-old is keen to impress Erik Ten Hag ahead of the new season. He told the club's website, "It's my first preseason in 3 years. The other preseasons I have been injured, so I have come back hungry and I am enjoying the tour and enjoying getting to know the new players coming in as well. It's good to be together as it's about making the team spirit going into the season stronger. It helps when you are on the pitch if you know a player off the pitch as well. It's sometimes easy to forget the potential Williams had. The defender, after all, had displaced Luke Shaw at one point as the club's starting left back throughout Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at Old Trafford. Manchester United willing to keep Anthony Martial as cover for striker's position. The club are trying their best to bring in an elite striker with negotiations still ongoing with Atalanta for Danish wonderkid Rasmus Haaland. Ten Hag knows it would be unwise to solely rely on the Danish international, and thus there are plans to alternate him with Rashford as and when required. However, as Manchester United's display against Madrid showed, it would be far more beneficial to play someone else up front and allow Rashford to be his devastating best from the left wing. The manager is trying Jadon Sancho in that false nine position in the preseason, and it might become a feature of United's play in the coming campaign. It has been reported in the past that Ten Hag would ideally want two forwards, and due to budget constraints, Anthony Martial might become the experienced cover up front. ESPN have reported that United are looking at keeping the Frenchman as cover. It would be unwise to rely on Martial for the entire duration of a season due to his horrible injury record. The report from ESPN reads, United, according to sources, are also willing to keep hold of Anthony Martial as another experienced option at centre forward. The Frenchman is still recovering from the hamstring injury, which ruled him out of the end of last season and has not yet featured in a preseason. The club will find it hard to move on the French international due to his wages and injury record, and keeping him as cover could be the best solution at this moment. David Beckham admits he would love to feature in some capacity if Man United takeover happens. David Beckham has admitted he would love to feature in some form if a takeover goes ahead at Manchester United. The former Red Devils star believes it's high time the Glazers left the Old Trafford club, having lost the fans. Beckham reckons Man United could do with all-round investment right now if they are to return to the pinnacle of English and European football. The uncertainty over the club's ownership has gone on for 8 months, and it remains to be seen Whether a takeover will happen, Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani and Jim Ratcliffe are both in the race to buy Man United, and while Beckham has a lot on his hands right now, the former midfielder is open to having a role if new owners arrive. He told The Athletic the following when asked if he might like to feature in some capacity under new owners. I have a lot going on here at the moment, and my focus has purely been on Miami and everything that goes on in my business. But I haven't been approached, and I suppose any involvement with Manchester United would mean the world to me going forward. But who knows? We'll see what happens in the next few weeks or months. Hopefully, a decision gets made, and if I am involved in any way, if not, I will be a United fan and just do what all the other fans are doing, turn up and watch our team. The Inter Miami co owner has proven himself to be a brilliant football administrator, recently snapping up Lionel Messi for the Major League Soccer club. The Man United Academy graduate loves his old club a lot and will not hesitate to return if called upon by the would-be new owners. However, a takeover is no longer expected this summer, and there are doubts over whether the Glazers are indeed looking to sell their club. They still want £6 billion for the club, and the bidders are yet to meet their demands. So the drawn-out process could go on for more than other 8 months if both sides fail to reach a compromise. PSG have not made any bid for Rasmus Haaland, striker keen on Man United move. Manchester United are in pole position to sign Rasmus Haaland amid the recent interest from Paris Saint-Germain, according to Alfredo Pedula. The 20-year-old has been identified as United's top striker target, and the club recently made a verbal offer of €50 million plus €10 million in add-ons for him. This was followed by another report claiming that PSG have made an official bid of €50 million, but Padula has dismissed the story with his latest update. He has clarified that the French champions have not placed any offer on the table for the Dane. They are currently focused on Kylian Mbappe's future. United are yet to make a formal proposal, but Atalanta expect €70 million upfront plus €5 million in add-ons by Saturday. Haaland is currently part of the Atalanta squad that will face Bournemouth in tomorrow's friendly. The striker has already agreed personal terms with the Red Devils, and the club now have to finalize a transfer fee. The Denmark international has already given the green light to the transfer. He is prepared to turn down a big salary offer from PSG in order to make the move to United. The onus is now on United to find an agreement with Atalanta for the highly talented forward. Their verbal proposal of €60 million has fallen short of the €75 million valuation set by the Serie A outfit. Negotiations are still ongoing, and United will be hoping to reduce the fee to around €70 million. With the player traveling to England, United have the chance to finalize the formalities quickly. If a deal is struck by the weekend, he could train with the squad as soon as they return from the US. This would enable him to make his non-competitive debut against Lens or Athletic Bilbao. Haaland may not be an automatic starter at the beginning of his career with the Red Devils. Manager Erik is planning to ease him into the proceedings during the early weeks. Manchester United are still in the chase for Gonzalo Ramos. Manchester United are reportedly still in the race to sign Portuguese striker Gonzalo Ramos this summer. The People's Person have previously reported that the Red Devils approached Benfica to seek the transfer of the 22-year-old with an offer that would have seen Alex Telles given in return as a make weight. Both Benfica and Telles rejected this arrangement, and Telles subsequently moved to Saudi Arabia side Al Nasser. As Ojogo reports, United are still looking to pry Ramos away to Old Trafford. They will be facing some financial complications, however. Ramos is represented by football super agent Jorge Mendes, who is set for a significant payday if and when Ramos gets sold by Benfica. His contract stipulates that his current and past agents, Mendes and Mohamed Afzal, respectively, will each be entitled to 10% on a future sale. For Benfica, this would work out to a 20% loss in revenue on the sale of their biggest on field asset. Understandably, being keen to minimize potential losses, they are asking for 80 million euros. This would be enough to give the clubs a reasonable 64 million euros cash inflow. The problem is, it's also apparently much too high to attract realistic suitors. Although Benfica have already rejected offers reportedly as high as 65 plus 5 million euros in add-ons, 64 million euros is likely much closer to Ramos' real market value than 80 million euros. As yet, no clubs have made an approach in the region of the latter figure. This is a problem Benfica may seek to resolve simply by waiting. The terms of the contract stipulate that Afazal will no longer be entitled to a 10% stake from the end of August. With a much lower commission expense to think about, Benfica may become favorably disposed to more reasonable pricing. Mendes, on the other hand, will continue to be entitled to a 10% share of income from a future sale of the player under his current contract. United will have to decide whether the striker is worth the hassle and extra cost, or if they'd be better off looking elsewhere. I will be uploading daily Manchester United news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.